3 months ago, my upstairs neighbor disappeared. Not moved out. Not went on vacation. He simply vanished. The police questioned everyone in the building, searched his apartment, checked security cameras, and eventually called it a missing person case. Everyone forgot about him after a few weeks, except me, because I found something they never did. His phone. And I really wish I hadn't turned it on. I live in one of those old apartment buildings where you hear everything. Every footstep. Every cabinet. Every argument. The guy upstairs, his name was Daniel, kept to himself. Late 20s. Worked from home. Never caused trouble. The only unusual thing was that he always seemed nervous. Whenever we crossed paths, he'd glance behind him before saying hello, like someone was following him. I figured it was anxiety. Now I'm not so sure. The night before he disappeared, I heard heavy footsteps above me around 2 in the morning. Not pacing, running, back and forth. Then something heavy crashed onto the floor. I almost went upstairs to check. Instead, I rolled over and went back to sleep. The next morning, his apartment door was wide open. Police everywhere. That was the last anyone officially saw of Daniel. About a month later, our landlord hired people to clean out the apartment. Furniture, boxes, trash bags. Everything went into a dumpster behind the building. A few days later, I was taking out my garbage when I noticed something half buried under broken shelves. A phone, screen cracked, covered in dust. But somehow it's still powered on. No passcode, no SIM card, no contacts. Almost everything had been erased, except one folder. Voice recordings. There were 32 files. Most were only a few seconds long. The first one was labeled "Don't delete." I pressed play. At first it was just breathing. Then Daniel whispered, "He's outside again." Silence. Then, "If anyone finds this, don't answer the door after midnight." The recording ended. I laughed. Honestly, it sounded like someone making creepy audio for TikTok. So I played another. This one was different. Footsteps. His footsteps. Walking across his apartment. Then a knock. 3 slow knocks. Daniel whispered, "That's impossible." Another pause. I just watched him leave. The recording stopped. That wasn't funny anymore. I spent the next hour listening to every file. Each recording became stranger. He talked about seeing the same man outside his apartment every night. Always wearing the same grey hoodie. Always standing perfectly still. Never looking away. Daniel said the man never entered the building. He just waited. Every night. 4 weeks. Then one recording changed everything. Daniel sounded terrified. He's inside now. A loud apartment door slammed. Footsteps. Not Daniel's. Slower. Heavier. Walking across the hardwood floor. Then nothing. No voices. Just footsteps. 1 to 3 stopping outside what sounded like a bedroom. Daniel whispered so quietly I almost missed it. "He's pretending to leave." The footsteps walked away. The apartment door closed. Daniel exhaled. Then 3 knocks. From inside the bedroom. The recording ended. I should have thrown the phone away. Instead I became obsessed. I checked every recording for dates. The final file was created the night Daniel disappeared. It lasted almost 19 minutes. The first 10 minutes was silence. Then footsteps. Again. The same slow rhythm. Daniel whispered, "He's finally here." Another voice answered. Not loud. Barely audible. It sounded exactly like Daniel. "Open the door." Daniel replied immediately. "You're not me." Silence. Then the same voice. "Closer." "You already let me in." A loud crash. Furniture falling. Daniel screamed. The phone hit the floor. For almost 5 minutes, nothing but footsteps. Walking around the apartment. Then stopping. Very close to the phone. Someone picked it up. Breathing filled the microphone. A calm voice said, "Wrong apartment." The recording ended. I barely slept that night. The next morning I went back to the dumpster. It had already been emptied. No other belongings remained. Only the phone. I considered taking it to the police. But what would I say? My missing neighbor recorded a scary voice. They'd think I was insane. So I kept it. Big mistake. 2 nights later, I woke up at exactly 2:14 a.m. because I heard footsteps above me. Except Daniel's apartment was empty. No furniture. No tenants. Nothing. The footsteps continued for almost 10 minutes. Slow. Heavy. Exactly like the recordings. Then silence. 3 knocks. Directly above my bed. I froze. Then my own phone vibrated. Unknown number. 1 voicemail. No missed call. Just a voicemail. I never answered. I played it. Static. Breathing. Then a familiar voice. Daniel. He whispered, "Don't look through the peephole." A knock interrupted him. 3 slow knocks. From my apartment door. Then another voice. Calm. Friendly. My own voice. Open the door. The voicemail ended. I never checked the hallway. I never opened the door. Eventually the knocking stopped. Morning came. Everything looked normal. Until I checked my security camera. At 2:16 a.m. someone had stood outside my apartment for nearly 20 minutes. They never knocked. They never moved. They just stood there, facing the door. The camera quality wasn't great. The hood covered most of the face. But just before they walked away, they looked directly into the camera. And I finally saw them clearly. It wasn't Daniel. It wasn't a stranger. It was me. Wearing the clothes I had been sleeping in. Smiling. I've deleted the recordings. I destroyed the phone. I moved to another city. Changed my number. Changed apartments. Changed everything. But every few weeks my phone still receives a voicemail from an unknown number. Always at exactly 2:14 a.m. I've never listened to another one. Because I already know how each message ends. With my own voice standing outside my door asking me to let myself in.